Welcome to We Are Soccer special Euro 2020 edition here midweek. I've got Nate with me on the line. Nate, how you doing, buddy?
Calling from you live from Europe or Commerce.
Yeah, Commerce, Michigan. Close enough.
Commerce, Europe,
Yeah, exactly. All right,
next to
well,
North Macedonia. Nobody knows where that's at.
exactly. I appreciate you joining me. Cheers, buddy.
Bros.
All right, so today what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to chat a little bit about the first 12 games that have just been completed at the Euros. Euro 2020, the first games. Every team has now played their first game, and there were some good games. There were some real good games. Only 1-0-0 draw. So lots of goals scored, lots of excitement. Let's just jump in, shall we? Nate, any games that stuck out to you in those first 12?
Honestly, my favorite game of the whole tournament so far. Well, let me rewind it just half a tick. The Euros are honestly one of my favorite competitions there are in football. I have to say this. I have to plug that. If anyone wonders why I'm always so geeked about it, I lived in Europe while the Euros was going on. So to me, it holds a very special place in my heart. I think for me, it rivals almost the World Cup. Just as far as excitement, as far as teams, it's great. Yep. So I always get pumped when this is going on. I always get pumped to watch all these teams play. So yeah, watching every game, watching replays, watching highlights, watching recaps, over and over again, all over the place. My favorite match so far, and the one that I thought was one of the most exciting by far, Netherlands, Ukraine.
Yeah.
By far. That game had it all. It was close. I thought it was going to be close. Had way more goals than I thought it was going to have. They had some very interesting strikers, some very interesting goals from both Ukraine and both the Netherlands. That by far was actually the most exciting game I think so far to watch. I don't know what you thought.
I loved that game. I thought it was brilliant. It was great to see the Netherlands, who we didn't really expect too much from, to be honest, come out and really play. And they looked like they were in control. And then obviously the new manager, De Boer, decides to make some changes there, takes Daley Blind off, takes another player or two off, and the Ukraine get back into it with two stunning goals and tie it up 2-2. And right then and there, you're thinking, man, this is what a great way to end this game. It's going to finish a draw at 2-2. And then the Netherlands pop up and just put their foot down and say, nope, we're going to go ahead and win this. And I mean, just 5 stunning goals. The Netherlands win that one 3-2. Stunning game. One of my favorites as well. Yep. Any others that stuck out to you?
Honestly, North Macedonia versus Austria, I thought it was a great game. I've been bagging on North Macedonia, I've been joking around with them, but it was close. Yep. It was really intense towards the end. I really like the Austrian team. The striker, as you know, plays for Stuttgart.
Yep.
Not only that, I like Alba, I like Sabitzer, I like Lemire, all German players that play in the Bundesliga that are starters. I thought Austria did very well. I thought North Macedonia did very well with trying to pull off a draw. In the end, I think Austria just broke them down and was able to get in. And I like this Austria team. And unfortunately, I think one of the strikers got a little out of control after that third goal, which is funny because I didn't really know what was going on. But I noticed, Alba run right up to him, basically grabbed the guy by his lips, like telling him to shut up, And so now we kind of find out that he might have been saying some untoward things, if you will.
Right. Just to hit upon that, it does look like Arnautovic was saying some pretty dirty, I don't know if it was racist type remarks, but you hate to see that type of thing. I hope it's not true, but it looks like it probably is. But yeah, that game ended 3-1, Austria over Macedonia, but it was a lot closer than the 3-1 scoreline, right?
The last 2 goals were put in the waning minutes, so it was mainly a very close 1-goal game for most of the day. So
one of my favorite games so far was the very first game of the tournament, Italy versus Turkey. I was very surprised to see, not surprised to see Italy go up 1-0. They went up 1-0 right after halftime. And then I thought they were going to do the typical Italian thing. They go up 1-0 and then they park the bus. Nobody leaves nobody leaves, nobody runs out. But no, Italy came out and played and really tried to boss that game and did. Very surprised to see that. Turkey are not a pushover. So to see them lose 3-0 to a young Italian team was very surprising. But I thought Italy were very, very strong, and I look forward to seeing their next couple of matches. They really they're exciting. So yeah, that game was really exciting to me. One of the games which I was a little bit sour on or disappointed on, I guess. There was two that stick out in my mind, and they're right back to back with each other. It was the Poland-Slovakia game. I was very disappointed in that game from Poland. I just didn't see what I was hoping to see there from Poland. I didn't get to see Lewandowski do what he normally does. He seemed to be a little bit off, but I think that's because Slovakia really tried to snuff him out and surround him with players and not give him enough time to do anything. So that was one of the games I was a little disappointed in. And then the other game was Spain-Sweden, which was right after that Poland-Slovakia game. Spain just, just disappointing. I mean, they held like something like 89% of the possession. It was crazy, the possession they held. And at the end, Sweden could have stole it. They had two good opportunities, one on the back post that should have been put in the back of the net. So it was good to see Sweden kind of almost take it, but I didn't like Sweden's defensive tactics. And yes, I know they were missing a lot of their players, but Spain were poor in my opinion. So those were two games that I was disappointed in.
I'd have to say for my biggest letdowns, because I knew Poland, I hate to say I told you so, but I thought Poland was going to lay an egg. I did. They normally do. They're almost struggling in these tournaments. I don't know why. They just never can seem to get it together. So I wasn't really surprised with the Poland-Slovakia result. The Scotland-Czech Republic result actually caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
And the reason is I thought, I don't think the Scotland team is that bad. I thought playing at home, being in one of the first international tournaments in a very long time, I thought they would have been pumped and would have put it in high gear. Hats off to the Czech Republic. They played really well. They had one of the best goals in the tournament actually right now with the chip from like a million yards out. But I was a little disappointed in the Scotland team and how they play and how disjointed they kind of looked at times.
I'll agree with you there. That was a little bit of a disappointing display from Scotland. The first time they've been in a major tournament in a long time, and they're at home in front of I think it was 20 or 30% capacity, their own fans, and they looked like the players were putting in a good effort. It looks like they were trying, but tactically they just didn't seem to have it. They seemed to be off. They were a little bit disjointed, as you said, a little bit all over the place. And I just a really good display from the Czech Republic away from home to soak up the pressure and put two very nice goals in by Schick there. And that second goal right now could be goal of the tournament. Yeah, I mean, it's a one-time first touch shot from just over the halfway line and chips the goalkeeper. Just an absolutely stunning play. And if you've seen all the angles on that goal, the bend on the ball is just absolutely crazy. So yeah, I agree. That little bit of a downer there from Scotland. Didn't see them laying an egg like that at home, but good for the Czech Republic in that group.
I would say the only other goal that I think could rival it, and it's a toss-up, is Lanier's goal, the very first goal, the 18th minute from Austria, where that cross came in and he basically jumping flick kicked it with his left foot and put it in the other end of the net. And I thought that was an amazing thing of skill there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good goal. I will say the Ukraine's two goals that they scored against the Netherlands, especially
those were beautiful.
Yaremchuk, the goal, that was just wow, what a stunning goal, the way it dips over the goalkeeper's hand and into the upper 90 there. But there have been some really good goals in this tournament. Just some absolutely stunning goals. And as I said, to set off today's We Are Soccer show here, there's only been 1-0-0 game. And I know we picked out 2 or 3 games there that we were a little bit, we'll say, down on or disappointed with, but but overall, the competition in the whole, the 12 games has been great. So yeah, is there one team to you, Nate, that has stuck out and you feel showed that they have really come to play in this tournament, and you're going to see them go on, make it to the finals? Who's that team do you think has showed the quality so far?
Yeah, it's tough because I think they're obviously first round of games. It'll really depend on the second round of games. I thought Belgium was impressive against Russia,
Yep.
but I thought Russia looked really bad. I was surprised with Denmark, Finland, but I don't know how you play that game after what happened with Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we got to see both
Yeah,
those teams in the right frame
no,
of mind. We
no.
should, and now obviously Denmark's going to be without their star man Christian Eriksen. It doesn't look like he'll be playing for the rest of the tournament, which is very unfortunate. That we could talk about that all day.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
I thought Germany was the better team against France, and they decided to score first, and they're only goal, unfortunately. But I thought they were the better team actually in the end. I didn't think France played good, but I think they were lacking a little bit.
I think in the last 20 minutes, last 15, 20 minutes, I
Yeah.
think France sat back to
Yeah.
soak up the pressure. They were trying to soak up that pressure, kind of
Yep.
draw Germany in and look for that counterattack. And it worked twice, except for VAR.
Mhm.
VAR intervened with offsides, right?
And I
Mbappe
think Croatia.
brilliant goal that was ruled offside, and then
Yeah.
Benzema scored one that was ruled offsides as well. I think that was a game plan, and I will say I think they did that on purpose because they have Pogba and Conte in the middle
Mhm.
to kind of soak that pressure up, get the ball, and then distribute. So I still think France is the quality team of this tournament, and
Oh,
based
they
on
are.
the first round, I see them going on further to win.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And, England, I thought, also played very well against a very tough Croatia side, even though they put in one goal. I still thought they played decently well. I was a little bit disappointed in some of the subs that they made.
Yeah.
I think you wanted to see your Grealish come on so he could showcase himself for Roma, for Jose Mourinho when he goes there and wait, what?
No.
So
Happened.
no, but yeah, I mean, you got a lot of talent on that bench that never got in. Jack Grealish is one of them, and Jadon Sancho is one of them. You think just to switch things up, you would have did something and put on players like that are an impact, but it's kind of odd
Yeah.
why they didn't. Maybe they were just trying to stay defensive at the same time. Who knows?
I mean, I've heard the argument that England were in control of the game. Why waste someone like Grealish's? Why waste his legs on minutes that in a needless game? And that's typical Gareth Southgate. He went very defensive to start with. He went very safe to start the game. Two very good holding midfielders in the middle. But honestly, I think England obviously got the win 1-0 over a Croatia team, but it's not the same Croatia team that we've seen in the past. It's the same team, but older, and they have old legs. And I thought a good England team would have beat Croatia 2 or 3-0. England, to me, were average on the day. They didn't produce as much as I thought they could have. I don't understand. I won't even start with the starting 11 at the moment, but just on the bench, Gareth Southgate had 2 goalkeepers on the bench. When was the last time you ever saw 3 goalkeepers used in one game? I don't understand. Now, we did see the news today that Dean Henderson he has left the England team. He is injured, so he will not be taking part in Euro 2020 any further. So maybe they kind of knew that, and they just wanted to get him on the bench for a game, and that's why they did that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just to say he took part officially, he was on the bench in the squad. I don't know. Jadon Sancho was not in the squad. He was not in the 18-man squad on the bench. So there was rumors that the transfer to Man United was going to be happening this week, and he'd be taking a medical, and maybe his mind wasn't quite on the game. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I'm not really sure what happened, but like you said, Nate, you've got people like Grealish and Sancho. Why aren't we using them? Why are we up looking to go 1-0? It was a strange game for me. I thought England did not play as well as they could have,
Uh,
especially at home.
and I don't think, honestly, I know you're saying that Croatia is an older team, but I thought Croatia played very well. I thought Croatia did. Modric still has it in him. Rebic was still dangerous in there. I like that Croatia side. I really do. They will be their next game against the Czech Republic. I think will be very interesting, and I wouldn't put it past them to still finish second in the group. And I will say that Calvin Phillips was amazing for England, and if that kid can play like that every single game, and I think he can. I've liked him at Leeds for since they were in League Two. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I thought he showed really well in that game. And if he can do that for the rest of the tournament, I think England has a chance to go very, very far.
I agree. Calvin Phillips was phenomenal. The way he moved, the way he won the ball, the way his positioning, he was absolutely phenomenal. There's a reason they call him the Yorkshire Pirlo. He really showed that he is a masterclass of player. Yeah, it was good to see that. We could talk all day about the England game. I'm interested to see their second round game coming up here against Scotland. Again, we said Scotland are poor, but England versus Scotland is a derby game. And those are two, we'll call them frenemies, friends, because of how close they are. They're both, in Great Britain, but it's going to be a game where those two teams are going to go at it. I do expect England to win. But it's going to be a good game. The second round of games coming up start Wednesday the 16th. Finland, Russia, and then Turkey versus Wales, Italy versus Switzerland. One or two of those games, stick out a little bit. The Italy-Switzerland game, I think, should be a good one.
Yeah.
Wales, I think, were a bit lucky to come away with a draw in their first round game. It'll be interesting to see what they do against Turkey. Turkey are a decent team, and they could really put some damage into Wales there, I think.
Yeah, I like the Italy-Switzerland game a lot. I like the Switzerland team a lot. It'll be interesting to see, is Italy that good or is just Turkey that bad? So you run into that a lot. Like that first game, who's really sticking out? Well, it depends on if Italy runs out and runs up 3-0, 4-0 against Switzerland, then yeah, they're that good. But it'll be interesting to see, was Turkey really that bad, or was Italy really that good? Yep. Croatia, Czech that I mentioned, the Croatia versus Czech Republic, which is kind of put in a must-win there for the Croatia team. I think that'll be really interesting. Yep. Germany, Portugal. Germany, you lost your first game. Now you're in trouble. You need to win. You need the points. Portugal, they won their first game, but they didn't really look that great for the most part against Hungary,
despite the score.
And I mean, no, like Hungary's a good side. I think if they were in, a different group, like Group C maybe, or no, even like Group D, I think they're easily getting third. The problem is when you look at Portugal, when you look at France, when you look at Germany, if you were to go into a coma tomorrow and wake up at the end of the Euros and went, Nate, who won the Euros? And I went, Portugal. You would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. France. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Germany. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I want to surprise you, and that's the problem. If I were to say Hungary, you'd be like, wait, what happened? So like, it's not that they're a bad squad. They're stuck in a group with superstars. Yep. That you would expect to win. You would expect to be part of that Final Four, maybe, if things worked out right. You would expect them to go forward, and all three of those teams. Right. So it's, you kind of feel bad because everyone's looking at the Hungary side going, well, that's a must win because maybe I draw against Portugal or I draw against France, I beat Hungary and I'm in. So it'll be interesting to see what Germany does next. I think it was unfortunate that they lost against France with that own goal. I'm not saying that just as a German fan. I didn't think they played awful. I thought they played all right, especially against France, who is a powerhouse. So it'll be interesting to see if Portugal can step their game up because they do have the talent. They have a lot of talented players on that team. So can they set their game up, or did Hungary really just do a very good job defensively up until that bit of an end? And the other side is, can Germany set their game up, because they really need to start finishing in the attacking third. They had the ball in that area, they knocked it around a bit, but they couldn't put it away, and that's part of the problem of them not having a true forward.
Yeah, playing without a true number 9, that definitely hurts. That final day of group of round number 2, we'll call it the team's second match, Saturday, June 19th. As you talked about, it's Hungary versus France, Portugal versus Germany, and Spain versus Poland. All 3 of those games are great games. I think, Poland is really, they lost their game. Now they need to come out and play, but they play against a Spain team who drew and didn't play very well and is taking a lot of criticism right now. So that game's going to be fun to watch. Portugal, Germany, as you said, Germany lost, so they need to win. I think Portugal didn't look very good. They have to wait till the 84th minute to put a goal in the back of the net against Hungary. So that game's going to be a great one. And then Hungary-France Hungary's going to come out and see what they can do, because they're, essentially, if they go down 2 games, they're done with the tournament. So they're going to come out and do whatever they can. It'll be interesting to see how France lines up against them. So that final day holds all 3 games that I'm really looking forward to. But again, this whole tournament, almost all the games I expect it to continue like this. This is one of the best tournaments we've seen. And this is why the anticipation is what we've been waiting for the past year and a half. This is it. It's phenomenal.
Yep. It's week 2. These coming up games will really define a lot of teams, and you'll see who is for real and who just kind of maybe played a bad side.
Right.
You're looking at this. Last time I checked, Finland, even though they won, is technically the underdogs against Russia, which to me makes no sense. So like, right. Obviously some bookies looking at that going, you kind of got one there under a circumstance. So it'll be very interesting the second week to see who pulls forward and who can you got 5 days too to assess what went wrong and go, okay, maybe I don't play this player here, I move this player there, or I had this guy not as a sub, now I'm going to have him as a sub to change the pace, or I had this sub go in for that guy who's a starter who really didn't do well, we'll have him as a starter now. Not completely, I don't think anyone's going to completely revamp anything, but you move a player or two and it can make a difference. You move slide a player here, change a formation there, change a strategy within the formation a little bit.
Yep.
That's why there's that, at least 48 hours in between those games to be played, is to allow for that type of time and recovery.
It's the second game for teams in this tournament is it's the make or break day game for a lot of them. So it is going to be very interesting to see what happens. Again, I can't wait. I'm I've been watching all the games, and it's been a blast. That's all I can say is it's fun.
Well,
it's a blast, and this is some of the best soccer in the world you're ever going to see. It's the most step up.
And all the teams that won can kind of take a breath. They can get a tie.
Yep.
They don't want a loss. They can get a tie. They can get it, to have 3 points. They can take a breath.
Right.
It allows them to breathe. It allows them to relax a little bit. Any team that lost, now their back is to the wall. Now that's when the pressure comes. Are they going to rise, or are they just going to fold and crumble? And that's when you'll see the collapse.
I take the other kind of step. I go in the other direction. I say, if you won your first game, go ahead and try to win that second game, get 6 points. And then that third game in your group, go ahead and play some of those bench players. Go play some of those guys who haven't gotten a lot of minutes and try something a little different, because you don't need that victory, right? If you've got 6 points, you're almost set to go through to the next round. And don't forget, there's 16 teams that go through out of the 24 that are in the tournament. So lots of leeway there. But yep, it's going to be fun. It starts Wednesday here, the next round of games. I'm surely looking forward to it. And I know, Nate, Saturday morning, our live show, it's going to be lots to talk about, lots more to go over. We've got a whole lot of soccer between now and then. So lots can happen. We could be looking back on this video going, we were wrong. That's the game of soccer, right?
like all my bets, they're normally wrong in the end.
Yeah, I actually don't bet very often, and when I do, I just wait for you to tell me who to bet for, and then I bet
Go
against.
the other way. Go the other way.
You've been winning me a lot of money.
Well, at least someone's winning.
All right, my friend. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap it up in this week's Euro 2020 Bundesliga chat edition, right? We kind of overhauled the Bundesliga chat for the Euro 2020 talk. Nate, thank you again for joining. I appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you probably in the next couple of days in a video, right?
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, buddy.
Pros.